Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you episode 6 of my BTD6 tower testing series. So in today's video, we are going to be testing out the new Inferno Ring in this game, because this tower was buffed in the most recent BTD6 update. So, we are going to be playing on Resort, and we'll start with a tack shooter right here. So I am playing with Monkey Knowledge on, just to help us out a little bit. I'm not sure if there's anything that's relevant to the Inferno Ring as far as Monkey Knowledge is concerned. But the 4th tier Ring of Fire was buffed in this most recent update, 33.0. And it is faster as far as its attack speed goes, and it deals 5 damage, I think, instead of 3. And in addition to that, its pierce was reduced from 60 to 40. So overall, it's probably stronger than it used to be. I'm not going to say for certain, but I do believe that it was stronger, or that it is stronger now than previously. And the Inferno Ring, the 5th tier, did get some buffs as well. And that tower now deals 8 damage instead of 4. And it deals 4 extra damage to Moabs for a total of 12, whereas it had 6 bonus damage to Moabs before the update, for 4 plus 6 being 10. So even to Moab class Bloons, it is 20% stronger now than pre-update, and it's 60% stronger going from 5 to 8 against non-Moab class Bloons. So even if we were to go for the middle cross path for the range and the pierce on the Meteor's attack that targets Moab class Bloons, we would still probably deal more damage post buff with the 520 than pre-update with the 502, even just factoring in the Flame Burst attack, not considering the Meteor. So I'd say this is a pretty substantial buff. I don't know if it's game-breaking or not, but we are going to try and test that out in today's video. So I'm not going to be doing anything too fancy. I don't know if I'm going to be like doing god boosting or any of that, but I would like to see how long we can survive with just an Inferno Ring and the bare minimum of support needed, so just an MIB to make sure we can pop all Bloon types, purples included. And I'll make sure to sell that Dart Monkey and anything else we may get between now and then. And we will be able to only have the Inferno Ring attack the Bloons and see how far we can get with it in that way. So we're on round 14 so far. It's looking like we will need to get some more defense soon, but let's at least get a second 200 farm right there, and we will upgrade to faster shooting for now. And I'm thinking that the range may be better instead of the damage from the bottom cross path. So there is a red balloon coming around the other side, and it may leak, but that's no big deal. So let's also get Geraldo and the Quincy action figure. Hopefully it's not too expensive by now, but as far as I know, its value does not increase until you place Geraldo. So we will be getting that right now, and I'll place Geraldo where he will not attack the Bloons. Because, as I said earlier, I would like to only have the Inferno Ring attacking and popping the Bloons. So let's get a Dart Monkey right there just so that we don't lose as many spikes. And I'll keep that guy around for now, but I will make sure to sell other towers, as I previously said, later on. So we would be best off with getting more farms for now. It's not like we're in a rush to get the Inferno Ring, but just being able to coast through the mid-game without worrying about whether or not we'll pop all the balloons would be nice. So let's get even faster shooting right there, and we should be good for now with pop-in power. We will need some support for camo balloons though, and for lead balloons as well. So, on to round 23, the last round before we see the first camo balloon, which will be green. So, even if we were to let it leak, it wouldn't be a big deal. Let's see if we have the invisibility potions. Yes, we do. I will give that to the tack shooter right there for now. Now we have 4 of these farms, and we will be getting some banks pretty soon probably. Banks are pretty efficient. They're not as efficient as banana research facilities or BRFs for short, for example, but they are pretty efficient. It's not like we'll need a ton of money this game. So we will get that pretty shortly. And I'm going to get hot shots for now so we don't have to worry about anything else for lead balloons. And we can continue putting money into our farms for now. So we almost have enough money for our first bank. And we are just over 10 rounds now, 10 rounds exactly away from the first Moab. So I would like to take this as an opportunity, and I'll link the patch notes in the comment section below after I finish recording this video and I upload it, so that you guys can take a look at what the new update has as far as that is concerned. And let me know what you think are the most significant changes, as well as your favorites and least favorites. Personally, I think that there are some fair changes in there, especially like with the Crossbow Master, because Crossbow Master is a pretty good tower overall, and it's definitely worth its cost. So even if it's slightly nerfed by means of I believe its Pierce was decreased. However, its attack speed is the same, and its crit rate on average is slightly higher than it used to be. So let's get the range right there, and we should be good now. And getting back to what I was saying about the patch notes, let's also reapply the C invisibility right there. As far as the Crossbow Master change is concerned, well, changes actually, it's not just one change, but overall, I'd consider it a bit of a nerf, but it's not that bad, and at least its crits are not RNG anymore. Apex Plasma Master was nerfed. It will now only attack at 5/6 of the speed that it used to. So as a result of that, it won't be like, maybe it won't be at least a like a straight up go-to Paragon choice for like tier 3 elite bosses, for example, because that was pretty big in the meta before this update. So maybe it won't be as much now, and it will be fairer for its cost in that sense. So yeah, and then there are some other changes as well. And one of those is with the Two of those actually are with the Ring of Fire and the Inferno Ring. So I am going to get let's get a Wall of Fire, I suppose. We'll get it right here. And with guided magic as well, so we can target it. Hopefully we can take care of this as well. If we don't, I'll restart, and we do not, I'll restart the round, of course, not the whole game. But there were also some other pretty significant changes in this update. Like for example with the Pirate Lord got a pretty massive buff. Its grapes now deal 10 damage per shot instead of 5. That's pretty massive, especially considering its low cost. So let's target Wall of Fire right there. And we do miss, unfortunately, with that. But let's try some micro right there, and it does not work. So I'll just collect from the first bank, it's no big deal. So let's do that. Let's get our final bank and see. I want to use this as an opportunity to perform an experiment right here. Is the Ring of Fire going to do better than the hotshots, even against a Moab? Yes, it does. So there we go. Now you can see how fast this thing attacks post-update, so that's pretty nice. And it's definitely significantly stronger. It's a well-buffed tower, and I like what I see. Hopefully it's not too OP, because it might be a little OP. But as of right now, there are some other changes to discuss as well, and one of those is, of course, the 3 Paragon limit in all game modes. It's not just in boss modes, it's in all game modes. And I'm gonna be honest, I hate that change pretty much as everybody else does. And yeah, I'm just not fond of it. So, yeah, I just don't like that change overall. I think that it's bad for the game as far as just being able to enjoy late game and free play just on your own. For the boss events, I understand, and I'm fine with that being in the boss events, but I do not really approve of that change as far as normal game modes go, because it limits our ability to just have fun and enjoy the game. And yeah, with that being said, I understand that Ninja Kiwi might, for example, want to reduce lag, and that's fair, I suppose, but there are other ways of going about that don't involve just limiting players' abilities to enjoy the game. And the top of my phone is annoying, because instead of selecting a tower, it selected the notifications thing at the top. But no big deal there. And getting back to the Paragon limit, what do you guys think of that? I'm pretty sure that there's not any of us who have said anything positive about that in the normal game modes. I may have seen one comment that said that it's fair, but I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for the fun of the players specifically. I would like Ninja Kiwi to revert that change. And in fact, I would like Ninja Kiwi to make it easier, specifically in solo modes, to get degree 100 Paragons without having to wait a round for a Paragon power totem, and thus like 45 rounds after each Paragon, because like that won't allow for a game with like when all Paragons are released, like 24 different Paragons, and I would like to eventually play in that sense. I would like to eventually be able to do that in the game. So it's pretty disappointing that as of right now it's not looking like that will ever be possible, but hopefully with enough people spreading the word, Ninja Kiwi will revert this change in the next update and only apply it to boss modes and possibly contested territory or other things like that, where multiple players are involved in some kind of leaderboard or contest. So let's get an MIB right there, and the Quincy action figure is only at like $9,200 now, probably because we got it late, and it makes a lot of interest percentage-wise in the first few rounds of the game. But either which way, it doesn't really matter because we nearly have enough money for the Inferno Ring anyway. And yeah, there are plenty of other changes in this update as well. The Flying Fortress, for example, now deals plus 10 damage to Moab class Bloons, which means it's a lot better of like a late game tower now. It's not just like, even before the update, I'm going to be honest, it was a pretty decent tower, but I feel like it's almost overpowered now. And there was something else with the Pirate Lord. I know I already mentioned the grape damage being doubled, but I think there was something else as well, maybe the cannonball damage or something else like that, getting a big change as well. So let's sell those towers right there, and now we only have the Inferno Ring, and we are obviously going to go into free play and keep going and see how far we can get. And this tower is taking out those Moabs pretty quickly with its normal attack. So I'm going to change this to strong for the meteor attack. That's another thing, you can now manually target the meteor attack. So if you put it on close, it'll go close. First, last, or strong are also options, but I'm going to leave it on strong for now. And it would be cool if there was an option to, for example, say, target first, but only target Moab class Bloons, for instance, so it doesn't just target a bunch of pinks, leads, or ceramics, or something else like that that the meteor isn't even meant to deal with effectively. Because it does have high damage and low pierce, so it's obviously meant for Moabs. But yeah, I do still like this change. I think it's a welcome change. And there are a couple of other towers that I think got changes, but I do not recall what they are as of right now, as of filming this video. But yeah, and this meteor attack is like destroying like even 2 fortified Moabs at one time, so I think that that's pretty nice. And it's a pretty strong tower now, because Inferno Ring, when Bloons TD6 was initially released, was like one of the worst towers in the game. It did not attack as fast, it did not deal as much damage, you got absolutely nothing out of the bottom cross path, and it did not have its meteor attack, but it was still a similar price. So I'm definitely glad that we get balance changes every single update to improve towers that are severely like weak for their prices and are like used very infrequently, and at the same time to nerf towers that are OP. And I think that that's pretty good as far as the game is concerned. And I would also like to know what your guys' thoughts are on the Buccaneer Paragon still being the strongest Paragon in the game, the strongest tower out of any tower, at least if we're not taking a God-boosted VTSG into account, perhaps. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Buccaneer Paragon still being the strongest Paragon in the game, even though there are 3 other Paragons, those being the Ninja, Engineer, and Ace respectively, that are more expensive? I'm interested to know. Ninja Kiwi did, thankfully, increase the price of the Buccaneer Paragon from 500,000 to 550,000. Not this update, but I believe it was last update, update 32. But I'm eager to know, do you guys think that it's fair because the Paragon can only be placed on the water? Or do you believe that even with that in mind, it should still be either nerfed a little bit or all other Paragons buffed a little to compensate? Because I think that the Buccaneer Paragon is a little bit strong for its price, even with the can only be placed on water caveat, and taking powers out of the equation, obviously. Because for ranked bosses, you can't use powers, so if it's on a dry map, you can't use the Buccaneer Paragon anyway. But let me know what your thoughts are. I'm eager to know about that. And also, thoughts on the Engineer Paragon. Do you think that the Engineer Paragon is, first of all, do you think that it is logical how it is, like, how it works now? Or would you change it so that it is more,
The store is open.
how would I put it, like, more resemblant of its tier 5, components? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, would you give it a trap, for example? Or, like, something else along those lines? Or give it a decamo attack rather than just seeing camo, but also a decamo attack? Or, for example,
Where's that genie bottle?
let me think of what else. But the Inferno Ring took care of that ZOMG pretty easily, and the Super Ceramics are not getting far as well because it had stronger damage as well as the high attack speed and the ceramic damage bonus, so that's pretty nice to see.
Just what we need.
But getting back to the Engineer Paragon, also, do you think that it is strong enough to be worth its cost, or do you think that it should be buffed? Because I did watch a video on Super John Bombo's channel recently of a degree 76 Ninja Paragon getting to round 200 and losing on this map. And then he also tested an Engineer Paragon degree 76 as well in the same spot, and it also lost on round 200. It did pop one of the beds, whereas the Ninja Paragon heavily damaged both beds but did not pop either one. Or at least it did not pop all of the children of the first bed.
Where's that genie
So the
bottle?
Engineer Paragon, according to that, at least at degree 76, is a little stronger than the Ninja, but not much stronger. And considering the price difference, if we take a look, 600,000 for the Ascended Shadow, and 650,000 for the Master Builder, so it's not all that much of a difference, but considering that, like, the Ultra Boost, for example, is like $100,000, and if we factor in the other tier 5s, we get like 170,000 combined, for a total of like 820,000 plus the tier 4s and below and all that. Whereas for the Ninja, it's 600k for the Ascended Shadow, maybe 35,000 for the Grandmaster Ninja, 25 for the Grand Saboteur, and like 40,000 for the Master Bomber, for a total of 100,000. For each of the tier, or for all of the tier 5s combined. That's 700,000 to like 820,000. So that's a pretty significant price difference, and they're almost the same in terms of damage output. So I think with that being considered, that the Engineer Power Gun definitely needs either a buff or a rework. I mean, Ninja Kiwi did say, in all fairness, that not all power guns are supposed to, like, resemble all 3 tier 5, like, towers that they comprise, but still, like, even with that in account, I still feel like the Engineer Power Gun is pretty underwhelming, and I'm surprised they didn't do anything about that in Update 33. So, let me know what you guys think of that as well in the comments. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I am glad that they did buff the Boomerang Power Gun a couple updates ago, so that there's more of a difference between the Boomerang and the Dart. And in fact, in a lot of tests from when there were still only the first 2 power guns, the Boomerang was weaker than the Dart Monkey, even though the Boomerang is more expensive. So I'm glad that Ninja Kiwi fixed that up, and it's more worth its cost now, the Boomerang, that is. So here we are on round 94. I'm wondering if we can beat round 100 with just the Inferno Ring, no buffs, just the MIB. I didn't even get Jungle Drums, so it's still attacking at its normal speed, and it just has a slightly bigger range because of the village, but that's necessary for the purpose of this, because if we were to sell the village right there, we can't pop purples, so we have to get the village back in order to avoid that problem. I've been forgetting to collect from the banks there, but that is not really a big deal because I'm not trying to God boost or anything else like that. So here's round 95. We are starting to see the Bloons get a little bit farther, but it's not like there's like a Pierce issue where the Inferno Ring is getting Pierce capped and it's not able to pop all of the Moabs, DDTs, and all of that. So we're looking fine so far, I'd say. Round 96 now, the highest RBE round, I think, out of all rounds from 1 to 100, whereas round 98 has a lower RBE, but more damage is required to be dealt to pop all of those Bloons, as opposed to the ones on 96. I saw that a while ago. I forget the details, but I think I'm remembering things correctly. So let's see if we can pop round 98 right here without having to micro the meteor attack. Hopefully we don't get overwhelmed when these ZOMGs pop. A lot of Super Ceramics are making it around to the other side, and it's looking like we may run into an issue here. It's hard to see what's going on, but so far we do manage to beat round 98 right there with just a 5-2-0 Inferno Ring and an MIB, no Jungle Drums even. So here's round 99, and we barely manage to not take it out. Okay, I'm going to try round 99 again and see if we can beat this. I'm not sure what else I can do though, to be honest. We just need to keep this one strong because it will target the fortified DDTs that way. So let's see if anything is different here. It looks like it's not going to be. And in fact, 3 DDTs get through that time instead of just 1. So what I'm going to do, I am going to see if the other cross path is better. So let's change to 502 and perform a little experiment here. Smaller range, but 10 damage instead of 8. although the Meteor Pierce is only 1 instead of 2. So here we are, and we will not make it through. We almost lost. I almost was too slow there. That's what I was trying to say. Excuse me. But yeah, it looks like we are running into a bit of an issue on round 99. So I'm going to say 98 is the highest round we can beat without jungle drums, but I'll use jungle drums just to beat round 99, and then I will sell the jungle drums and see if we can beat round 100 without it. So let's turn off auto start right there, sell the village, and get it back, but without the jungle drums. We'll have to get the bigger radius there, because I must have had it 1 or 2 pixels off of where I should have placed it. So here we are, round 100, and we will see if we can beat round 100 with the 520. If not, we'll try the 502. And if that still doesn't work, we'll get jungle drums with whichever cross path is stronger. But I think we will not have an issue here. I'll change the targeting to first so that it targets the DDTs instead of the ZOMGs. Although it may target the DDTs anyway, even without switching that. So let's go back to strong. And we do manage to pop the DDTs and their ceramics. And there go all of the ZOMGs as well. The BFBs and stuff like that. So we did manage to beat up to round 100, although we had to use jungle drums on round 99 in order to avoid losing. And round 101, after that, we are at $47,065 for the rare Quincy action figure. And that's still a little bit cheaper than the Inferno Ring when you combine it with its prerequisite upgrades. Whereas it would be at probably close to 80,000 or 100,000 by now had I placed Geraldo earlier on. But either way, I'm glad to see the Inferno Ring rocking these rounds. And I'm going to call it here for this one. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more interesting content. And I will talk to you all again in the next video. Peace out.